Hello everyone, good morning, how are you all? So yes, welcome back at Examper. Today we are going to discuss on the topic waves, and here we have Happy here. Hello Happy, good afternoon, how are you? So yes, what we are doing here, in the morning session, that is this afternoon session, in the morning we discuss previous year questions of Ssc Steno, Chsl, then we have others examinations as well, and in the evening from 6 to 7 we are here with the theoretical part, correct? So without any delay, let's get back to our first question. What's the first question here? The first question is, when a stone is thrown in calm water of a pond, waves produced are what? Now this question is from CHSL 2013. So we have Udbhav here. Hello Udbhav, good morning, how are you? And if I talk about engineers now, we know that maximum of us are engineers or were willing to be engineer, correct? And our mother is an awesome engineer, everyone's mother. So let me tell you, if we'll talk about engineers, they never sleep. So it's always a good morning for an engineer. So directly or indirectly, degree or without degree, we all are engineers and we wish good morning every time. Whether it is morning, whether it is night. Okay, so I'll come back to my question. The question was, when a stone is thrown in calm water of a pond, waves produced are dash. Now, let's understand about these waves. If I'll talk about waves, I'll discuss about two waves. One is longitudinal wave and another one is transverse waves. Now, what's the difference between these two, longitudinal and transverse? See, when I talk about the propagation now, so if this wave is moving in this manner, that is horizontal manner. So here, particles will move in the parallel manner. That is, if there are particles, they will be moving in this manner. But in the case of transverse waves, what happens? So we have Jagdishwar here. Hello Jagdishwar, how are you? And your answer is absolutely correct. But let me explain this part. If your wave is propagating in this manner, now in this condition what happens? In this condition, the particles which are there, they actually move in the perpendicular direction. Just have a look, 90 degrees, correct? So yes, if I talk about the waves which are produced in pond, now we can take the example of our childhood where we used to take a stone and we used to throw like this. Remember, in the pond or river or lake. So what used to happen? There used to be a disturbance where the disturbance in the water used to be like this. Remember this part? Now, if I have kept any of the paper or something like that, yes, compression and rarefaction is there in the longitudinal part, correct? It's actually like this. Compression and rarefaction. That is the molecules which are present over here. Molecules which are present over here, they are like this. They are moving in such a manner, correct? So, okay, I'll come back to my point. Now, the waves which are there in the water, some of them think, sir, that it may be the combination of both longitudinal and transverse. Why? Because, sir, whatever we are keeping here, since the wave is moving in this manner, the particles are moving up and down. So if I talk about the correct answer, then the correct answer is actually transverse waves, because the wave is moving in this manner and the particles are moving in this manner, that is, they are perpendicular to each other. Both the directions are perpendicular to each other, correct? Wave and this particle. So here the correct answer is going to be transverse. There is no such longitudinal concept here. Yeah, correct. So here the correct answer is going to be transverse waves, and it's awesome Jagdishwar, you have given the correct answer. Next, these waves cannot be transmitted through the vacuum. Now this is from metric level 2002 and it's the easy one. I guess you can give this answer in the first go itself. No need to explain even this part. So yes, these waves cannot be transmitted through vacuums. Now if I talk about vacuum, this means what? This means there is no such medium present, correct? Now, if I'll make this question easier, this means which among us the following waves is actually not requiring medium? Then, sorry, which of the following waves actually require medium? And it is asked through the vacuum, that means there would not be any kind of medium. So yes, here Jagdishwaran has told us sound, and that's absolutely correct. If I'll talk about sound, then these sound waves cannot travel until and unless medium is there. And it's very obvious, in the vacuum there would be no such medium. That's why sound would be the correct answer. Next, which of the following waves cannot be polarized? Now this one is quite twisted in nature. So this is from, yeah, that's true. Great, Jagdishwaran, great. So yes, we are talking about the waves which cannot be polarized. So which are they? Now let me tell you, if I'll talk about the polarization, then here longitudinal waves. Longitudinal waves. We understood about it, correct? If it is propagating in this direction, then the particles will also propagate in this direction, that is parallelly. But here there is no such option of longitudinal wave. But we know one thing. What? So if I talk about sound, it is also propagating in such a manner. Now, can you relate any of the option with the sound? Yes, we are aware of. Jason, you are saying radio wave, okay. But here, if I talk about this sound wave, then we have ultraviolet rays here, infrared here, radio wave here, ultrasonic here. Which one can you relate with the sound wave? So here you can relate it with sound wave, that is your option D, that is ultrasonic waves. So here option number D, that is ultrasonic wave, is going to be the correct answer. Did you get this point? Again I am saying, when we are talking about the polarization, so here you will take the example of sound over here, correct? So yes, this one, that is your ultrasonic wave, would be the correct answer. Next, which one of the following is not an electromagnetic wave? Now if I will talk about EM waves, that is electromagnetic waves, we must remember, this is very important, this sequence order is also very important. If I will write here G, X, U, V, I, M, R, please do not forget this particular sequence is very, very important, because questions can be twisted here. Let's have a look. When I talk about gamma ray, that is G, X-ray, that is X, then ultraviolet ray, visible ray, then there is the infrared ray. So if I'll go in this sequence order, please remember, this is having the highest power, maximum penetration power, and as soon as you're moving towards this waves, G, X, U, V, I, M, R, here this energy will keep on decreasing. Now let's have a look. They are asking about EM waves. See, gamma, it is here, X, it is here, infrared, it is here. Which particular ray is not here? Absolutely correct. The correct answer is C, that is your cathode ray. That is option number C would be the correct answer here. Next, which of the following has the lowest frequency? We were talking about the frequencies, right? So let's move forward again with the same part. We were writing G, X, U, V, I, M, R. So let's see who will give this answer. Which one of the following ray is having the lowest frequency? Is it gamma ray? Is it visible ray? Is it X-ray? Or is it ultraviolet ray? What is going to be the correct answer? And everyone who has joined the session, kindly like this session and share it. Yes, my question is, which among us the following is having the lowest frequency? Is it gamma, X, U, V, I, M, R? So when you will have a look at these options, you can go with the sequence order, correct? So Jagdishwaran is given the visible. Yeah, if I'll talk about this visible ray, see, it is here, then gamma is here, X-ray, ultraviolet ray. So this one was having the maximum. That means this visible would be having minimum according to these four options. If other options would also be there, you will be changing your option in that manner. So yes, here if I'll talk, here option number A, that is visible ray, would be the correct answer, because when we are talking about the frequencies, so G, X, U, V, I, M, R, so this is having the maximum frequency, and as soon as you will move forward, it will actually decrease. That's great. Next question. Before moving to the next question, we have an application. Example of official application is there, which is one-stop solution for all the government job aspirants. Here we have live paid courses with the test series, free subject-wise and topic-wise quizzes with the report card, job alert, admit card, examination dates, all examination previous year PDFs with the solution. We have current affair, whatnot is there. I'll explain this part, Jagdishan. Let me complete this part. So yes, for downloading this, just go to the Exampur official application. Just go to the Play Store, type Exampur app over there, click on the install button, go on the open part, register it and start using it. Now I'll be explaining all those terms. Jagdishan, let's understand. See, if I'll talk about a wave, we'll be clearing all the concepts. When we are talking about a wave, it is actually in this manner. Correct? We are talking about a sinusoidal wave, so that we can clear up all the concepts. Just have a look. If someone asks you, sir, what is amplitude? Fine. So what you can say, see, I tell you, this is the positive cycle and this is the negative. And these are crest and trough. Fine. Which is actually moving forward. Now, in one by one, we'll be understanding this. Between any two trough or two crest, this distance, from this point to this point. This is what? Here you can say, yes, we are moving according to that. That I'll be having the discussion with the WebGear part. Jagdishan, I'll be telling about WebGear part, but let me complete this part first. So if someone asks you, so what is this? So from here you can understand what is the meaning of wavelength, what is the meaning of amplitude. So we must understand first frequency. See, when someone is asking about the frequency, this is the complete cycle. This positive and here negative. This gives you the complete cycle. Now, if we are talking about these waves, within a second, how many times these cycles are completing? Within a second, how many times this whole cycle is completing? We can say that that would be its particular frequency. Simple. Got my point? Now, if someone will ask you about the amplitude, from this mean position to this length, this actually tells you about the magnitude. Fine. So here, the distance, this particular part, the total number of cycles, that is, we are talking about the oscillation part. From here, we can understand what is frequency, what is wavelength. We have discussed about this wavelength part, frequency part, amplitude part. Now, what will happen? There was a point which Jagdishan you were asking. If I talk about waves, light. So here, WebGear. Now, if I'll move from left to right, here what is going to happen? If I talk about the scattering power, so scattering is maximum for what? For this violet light, we have maximum scattering. And from here, red, we have least scattering, which exactly tells us about the sequence order of your wavelength as well. Fine. So we can relate that wavelength and scattering are related in such a manner. You are asking something. So all the see, it actually depends. If someone is saying that they are having the same amplitude, that means what? That means if I talk about any of the cycle, you can just compare. If all will have the same amplitude, that means you can relate it with the sound part, where someone is saying, sir, there is a graph, just a second. This answer we can relate with this one. If I talk about any sound wave, one is this, one is this. So there are two options. Jagdishwan, there are two options. If I'll say that there's a person 1 and there's a person 2. Now, whose sound is of a maximum level, or who will create a more sound? How can you tell about it? Can you relate it with this answer? Yes or no? If yes, then your answer would be clear. Can you tell me which particular person is creating more sound, or rather I'll say more noise if it is not pleasant to our ear? Waiting, please, in a super fast manner, because we have other questions as well. Okay, I guess I am getting a comment late. Yeah, that's true. If I'm relating it with the maximum amplitude, this means this sound would be of higher nature. Now, in the similar manner, if you relate with any kind of wave, if they are at the same amplitude, that means they will be having some of the properties which are similar to each other. Now, in the similar manner, when I'm talking about the EM waves, they are having the properties, but there are some of the characteristics which are different. For example, if I'll talk about microwaves, so because of which you are able to listen radios or watch television. So in that part, what is happening? That microwaves is easily penetrating through this ozone layer, correct? So that's why you are able to see all those particular things which you are seeing on your television or even using a radio. I don't know right now you are using those particular things or not, but yes, once upon a time those radios were also playing a significant role. So these particular waves, even the electromagnetic waves, that is GXU, VIMR, are also having different properties. We are having other questions also where we will be completing all those parts. So I guess we have discussed all the things almost. Next question, please. So I missed one of the question. There was a question, every hot object emits what? So here please remember, all the hot object emits infrared rays. Now, which of the following is not true about X-rays? So we have discussed the properties of X-rays, correct? So let's see what is going to be the correct answer. Jagdishwaran, which of the following is not true about X-rays? They have low penetrating power, they actually travel with the speed of light, they can be reflected or refracted, they can affect photographic plates. So Okay, thank you for the same. Yeah, so waiting for this answer, if I talk about the X-rays, so which is not true about the X-rays? So Jagdishan is with A. That's true because we have already understood this. So if I talk about this penetrating power, it will either increase or decrease in a way we move forward or come backward. But if I talk about their speed, they have a common, that is they are traveling with the speed of light. If I talk about reflection or refraction, yes, they can be reflected or refracted. Apart from that, they can also affect the photographic plates. So the only option which is not correct about these X-rays is what? That is, they have low penetrating power. No, they are having the high penetrating power actually. Next, which of these travels in the glass with minimum velocity? Now from here, your concept that you were asking. So which one will be having the maximum wavelength and which one will be having minimum wavelength? So here we can understand this. Yeah. So yes, which of these travels in glass with the minimum velocity? Is it red light? Is it violet? Is it green? Or is it yellow? Which one is going to be the correct answer? And everyone who has joined the session, kindly like it and share it. Waiting. If I'm talking about this red light, violet light, green light, yellow light, till the time you're giving answer, let me tell you. If I talk about red light, it is scattering the least. It scatters the least. But if I talk about the velocity, this red light is having the maximum velocity. Let me write. This is the maximum velocity. Now I guess you can give the correct answer. Yes, that's true. So if I talk about the sequence order, Webb, Gior. So here, red light has the maximum and the minimum velocity will be of violet. So that's true. Violet light is the correct answer. But let me tell you, if someone asks you about the scattering, if someone will ask you about the scattering, then it has the maximum scattering and red light has the minimum, because of which it is used in the danger signals. Tomorrow we'll be discussing the light chapter where we will be having more discussion in the depth from this part. So okay, this was correct, that is violet light. Next, indicate the correct arrangement of the EM radiations in order of increasing their wavelength. So yes, there was a question now, will they have same wavelength? So your concept will get cleared here. Yes, so this is from CAPFs and CISF 2013. What is the correct answer? Correct order of electromagnetic radiations in the increasing order of their wavelength. Udbhav, very good. Totally correct. And everyone who has joined the session, kindly like it and share it. What is going to be the correct one? We are talking about the increasing order of their wavelength. So Jagdishan is saying, sir, it would be A. Microwave, infrared, visible, X-ray. Okay. See, I'm not talking about penetration power. So just think about it. Udbhav is also with B. Okay. So let me discuss this part. Again, I'll write the same thing. GXUVIMR. Here, just try to go with the sequence order. So if I'll go with GXUVIMR, GXUVIMR, this means this option is absolutely correct. Wrong. If I'll go with VIMX, GXUVI, no, this is also going to be wrong. Now the only options left are A and B. So Jigdreshan, are you going to change your option? Udbhav, do you want to change your option? Still you have time. Or are you going with the same answer? Waiting for the answer. Same? Okay, so that was absolutely correct. If I talk about X-ray, visible ray, infrared and microwave. So this is the sequence order where we can see X-ray, then visible ray, then infrared and then micro. So yes, X, V, I, M, and this sequence is present here. And this is the order of increasing order of their wavelength. So I'll write here, wavelength is increasing in this manner. So yes, option number B will be correct. Totally correct. Great. Next. Matter waves are dash. So this is from CHSL 2013. Are they de Broglie waves? Are they magnetic, electromagnetic waves? Are they transverse waves or longitudinal waves? What is the correct answer? See, I'll talk about these de Broglie waves. De Broglie waves are actually having particle nature and wave nature both. So I'll write here, they have both particle plus wave nature. In the evening, we'll be having this theoretical section in which we'll be understanding this one by one. So yes, Jagdishwaran is saying, so it would be B, that is electromagnetic waves. See, here please remember, it is going to be your de Broglie wave. Fine. So yes, option number A was correct. Next, which electromagnetic radiation is used for satellite communication? We are talking about satellite communication, right? So Chsl 2013. What is going to be the correct answer over here? What will be the correct answer? Waiting for the answer. Yes. Still waiting for the answer. If I'll talk about the electromagnetic radiation which is used for satellite communication, so is it ultraviolet, is it infrared, is it microwave, or is it millimeter wave? What is the correct answer for this? We have just discussed about it. So Jagdishan is with ultraviolet wave. Ultraviolet, are you sure? Udbhav, what's your answer? And everyone else, I'm waiting for the answer from everyone. Udbhav is also with A. So both of you are friends, I guess. Huh? Both of you are giving the same answer. Please remember, here if I talk about the satellite communication, for the satellite communication, the correct answer is going to be microwave. The thing is that, see, when we talk about the satellites, I was discussing now, here is the earth. Above the earth, we have a layer of what? Here, we have a layer of O3. Now, what is this O3? See, many of the questions will come in this explanation itself. Please do not forget. Fine. So, yes, there's a layer outside this earth which is of ozone. The formula is O3. Now, whatever satellite is there, now it's only microwave which can actually travel from this location to here or this location to here. So for penetrating this ozone also we need some sort of properties. I was discussing now there are several different properties for the same. So this microwave wave is having that property which can actually travel, and yes, it is helping for the satellite communication. And one more thing is there, this is asked in the examination. I'll tell you once again in any of this topic. If I talk about this width, so can you tell me this width is measured by which unit? So I'll give you four options. One option is kilometer, second is mile, third is Dobson, fourth is Python. So these are the four options. Let me, I want the answer from everyone. What is the unit for measuring this particular width? Now this question is again asked in the examination. Ozone, I have already told you its formula is O3, very basic question. If I talk about this width, what is going to be the correct answer? How we are measuring this width? Is it kilometer, mile, Dobson or Python? Jagdishran, Udbhav, waiting for the answer, please. Will it be kilometer, mile, Dobson or Python? Important one. Please, I want the answer from everyone, because the thing is that these are the questions which are again and again asked. So we have Ram here, and Ram, you are absolutely correct. If I talk about the width, so here the correct answer is going to be your Dobson. Fine, do not forget. So yes, microwaves. Here, if I talk about the electromagnetic radiation that is used for satellite communication, the correct answer is microwave. Now microwaves can travel from this part, that is ozone, and yes, ozone's formula is O3. What is the unit for measuring its width? That is Dobson. Great, Ram. Awesome. So here the correct answer is microwave. Next, ultraviolet radiations of the sun do not reach Earth because Earth's atmosphere is surrounded by dash. Yes, ultraviolet radiations are not reaching Earth. Why? Because of the presence of something. Now this question is from Ssc Section Officer 2001. Waiting. Waiting for the answer. The question is, ultraviolet radiations of the sun do not reach the earth because Earth's atmosphere is surrounded by dash. Now this is from Ssc Section Officer 2001. What is going to be the correct answer? So yes, Jagdishan and Ram, you both are with ozone. That's absolutely correct. The correct answer is O3. Now, if someone is asking about the ozone, so we are aware of this formula also, this question also. But there's one more thing. If I talk about this ultraviolet radiations, what if we are using a lot of chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs? We will have this discussion in the chemistry as well. If I talk about the using of CFCs, or I can talk about greenhouse gases, so it will do what? It will create greenhouse effect, correct? So please remember, in that condition, what happens? The ozone layer that is present outside the earth, that gets depleted, and if this ozone layer will get depleted, ultraviolet radiations will easily come to earth, and it will create issues not only for us but for other animals and plants as also. Okay, then moving forward, yes, option number D was totally correct here. Next, gamma rays can cause what? Now this is the question from CPO 2002. Gene mutation, sneezing, iodine, sodium chloride, what? All right, deficiency of iodine and deficiency of sodium chloride. What is the correct answer? Gamma rays can cause what? Now this is from CPU. Totally correct, totally correct. So that's why it was said that ACs which we are using, air conditioners that we are using, they are releasing those CFCs. But right now, although that is not the condition in the present scenario with the new ACs, but yes, it was there. So we have Jagdishwan's answer. So it would be gene mutation. That's absolutely correct. If I talk about gamma rays, they create gene mutation. Now the people who are not from the bio background, let me tell you what happens. If I talk about the DNA structure, if I talk about this DNA structure, we have ACTH. Okay, we will not go with that part right now. Please remember, DNA, whatever DNA sequencing is there in our body, what will happen if this gamma ray will enter into our body? There would be the defect in our genes. Fine, there would be several issues, and if there is that particular defect, now we will be living with that particular gene. Here we will say that there would be gene mutation actually. Fine, so that is true. If I talk about the deficiency of iodine, this will lead to goiter. That's totally correct. So yes, Ram, Udbhav, Jagdishwan, you all are correct. It will lead to gene mutation. So option number A was correct. Next, ultraviolet radiations has more energy as compared to dash. Now we have discussed this question, correct? So let's see who will give this answer. This is the question which was asked in SSC section officer 2002. Ultraviolet radiations has more energy as compared to dash. Waiting. Just think about that sequence order which we discussed. Remember that sequence order? Waiting for the answer. Yeah, so we have answer here. Jagdishwan, that is Jagdishwan is given, sir, it would be gamma. Okay. Others, Jagdishwan, just try to remember that part of sequence order which we were discussing. Remember that part? That was G, X, U, V, I, M, R. Now we are asked about ultraviolet. That is, I'll take red color over here. Question is asked with this reference. Now we have the options here, that is infrared, we have gamma, we have X-ray, we have space rays. Now I guess now you can try to relate it. So Jagdishan, you noted down, na? So yes, if I'll talk about the radiation which is having the more energy, so we were aware of, if I'll move forward, gamma was having what? It was having the maximum energy, na? So this means if I'll move forward, it will keep on decreasing. There would be decrement. So here, if I'll compare this ultraviolet ray, so it is asking it is having more energy in comparison to what? So this ultraviolet ray is obviously having more energy in comparison to infrared radiation. Got my point? Yes, great. That's great. So I guess you understood this point. So in the examination also, please use this concept, because it happens at times. We just have a look over here and we click on any of the option. Just use this part. Fine. So yes, that's great. Your answer is correct. Infrared radiation will be the correct answer. That is option number A. Next, Ultraviolet rays can be used in water treatment as dash. Now this is from CHSL 2013. What is going to be the correct answer? And yes, if you want to ask something, please let me know. I guess that sequence order, energy, wavelength, all those concepts are clear. And I guess now amplitude, what is amplitude, what is frequency, what was wavelength, all these things are clear now. What is that wavelength? So we were talking about crust and trough. Remember that part? Distance between them. If I talk about this oscillations, in 1 second, how many times that was oscillating? That was the part. If I talk about the amplitude, so the crust, that level, height. So yes, and if I talk about the units, you can talk about angstrom. Angstrom is actually the unit which is telling the distance, but it is the smaller quantity in comparison to meters and centimeters. So yes, Jagdishan has the answer here, disinfectant, and that's absolutely correct. Ultraviolet rays which are used in water treatment, they are actually acting as a disinfectant. That is, if bacteria are there, they will not able to generate again. So that's why we can say that for the disinfectant we are using ultraviolet rays. Yeah, it kills microbes. That's totally correct. That's totally correct. And actually, because of its presence, what happens? The bacteria whichever are present at that time in the water, they will not able to reproduce their younger ones. And that's why we will say that it is actually helping in the form of disinfectant. Fine. That's great. Absolutely correct. So option number C is correct here. Next, who discovered X-rays? Let me tell you, this is the most important question. Why? Because I don't know how many times this is asked in the examination. The most common question in the examination, who discovered X-rays? So, was he William Roentgen? Was it Henry Becquerel? Was she Marie Curie? Was he Von Lu? Who was the person? X-rays discovery. Now this question is from SSC Tax Assistant, but trust me, this is only not asked in Tax Assistant. It is from MTS, CHSL, CGL, whatever examinations name will come to your mind now, that there this question is asked. So yes, Jagdishan, you are 100% true, 100% correct. What? That the correct answer is Roentgen, that is William Roentgen. So he discovered what? X-ray. If I talk about Becquerel, can you tell me, Henry Becquerel discovered what? X-ray or no. William Roentgen was the one who has discovered this X-ray. Fine. Got my point? William Roentgen. Becquerel, if someone will ask you about the Becquerel, full name is Henry Becquerel, and here this is the concept of radioactivity. Radioactivity. This was discovered by Henry Becquerel. Now, yes, Ram, absolutely correct. If I talk about Marie Curie, so you remember what? Radium. So actually she was not only alone, she was with her husband Pierre Curie. So Marie Curie and Pierre Curie were the one who discovered this radium. So the question was regarding X-rays, and that's true. Here William Roentgen was the one who has discovered this X-ray. So yes, option number A is correct here. Next, which of the following is used in MRI machines? This question is from SSC FCI 2012. So is it sound wave, X-ray, ultrasonic wave, or magnetic wave? Who will give this answer? Waiting for the answer. If someone is asking about the MRI machines, answer. And I need answer from everyone. Ram, Jagdishwan, Udbhav, and everyone who has joined the session, kindly like it and share it. And kindly give me your names, who all are present here. Let's see who all are present here so that I can start talking to you. We have many things to discuss. Otherwise, we will be discussing that in the theoretical section in evening between 6 to 7. Yes, answer please. Waiting for the answer. See, if I talk about this MRI, it is what? Magnetic resonance imaging. Now the full form is itself telling us about it. Magnetic resonance imaging. Now from the name itself, I guess you will be able to give this answer. Now, can you give this answer? Everyone, if you are not aware of this answer, just have a look at the full form. Magnetic resonance imaging. Still not? See, here if I talk about this part, magnetic. So from this part itself we can relate, sir, okay, that means we will be using magnetic wave here. So remember, magnetic wave is going to be the correct answer, which is actually used in MRI machines. So yes, here option number D is the correct answer. Next, a wavelength of 0.3 meter is produced in air and it travels at a speed of 300 meter per second. Then it will be an what? Now this question is from Chsl 2005 and this question requires some calculation. Okay, I guess I am getting your comments quite late, huh, Ram? But yes, your answer was correct. That is magnetic. I want answer for this question from everyone. A wavelength of 0.3 meter is produced in air and it travels at a speed of 300 meter per second. Then it will be in what? Answer please. Yes, see, if I talk about this question, we can see that there's a wavelength that is given. Wavelength is of 0.3 meters. And if someone will ask me about the speed which is given is 300 meter per second. Now, if we need to calculate the frequency, how will we calculate that? So, is there anyone who wants to answer this question so that I can go with the explanation part right now? I have written the data. Here's a wavelength that is given to us is of 0.3 meter. Speed of light that is given to us is of 300 meter per second. So, can we proceed forward now? Okay, so if I'll talk about the frequency, that means I'll be writing what? Speed upon lambda. So speed was what? 300 meter per second and wavelength was 0.3 meters. So if I'll just try to calculate it, okay, so Ram is giving answers, so it would be infrasonic, that is option D, correct? But Ram, just wait a minute. If I'll just cancel it out, it is giving me what? It is giving me 1000 hertz. Now, do you remember, if I talk about our audibility range, so if I talk about the frequency that we can hear actually, so for the frequency that we hear, we have a range of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, or rather I'll write 20,000 hertz. Remember this part. Here, this range is actually known as audible range, correct? This range is what? This range is actually the audible range. So if I talk about this answer, that is 1000 hertz. 1000 hertz is lying something between here. That is between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. We have 1000 hertz as well. So this means 1000 hertz will also come under audible range. That's why we can say that here the correct answer will be what? The correct answer is going to be A, that is audible wave. So if someone has doubt over here, please let me know. So Ram, absolutely correct. Others, Jigdreshan, are you there? Udbhav, are you there? Is there any doubt in this part? If there is any doubt, please let me know. Again, I will tell, if I am talking about the audible range, so here we have a range of 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Here we use the wavelength that was given to us. Then we had the speed. I'll write S as the speed. Speed that was 300 meter per second. So for calculating the frequency, I did what? For calculating the frequency, I just divided the speed with the wavelength and I got the frequency as 1000 hertz. Now, if I'll talk about the frequency, so here if it is between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, this means it is the audible. And here it is 1000, that's why I am saying it is audible wave. So option number A is the correct answer. Next. Bolometer is used to measure which of the following? So this is from Ssc Tax Assistant 2009. Bolometer is used to measure what? Now this is from Ssc Tax Assistant 2009. Options are frequency, temperature, velocity and wavelength. What is going to be the correct answer? Bolometer is used to measure which of the following? Frequency, temperature, velocity or wavelength. What is going to be the correct answer? Waiting for the answer, please. Yes. See, if you'll give this answer, then I'll be telling you about other things as well. We have reverberation, we have echo concept, correct? So we'll be going in the depth, but need this answer in the first go. And everyone who is present here, I want comment from everyone. See, let me tell you, if I talk about this bolometer, it is actually helpful in measuring the temperature where we are using the concept of radiation. Fine. Please do not forget this part. And if I talk about this question, the animal which is using the sound as its eyes, what is going to be the correct answer? Animal which is using sound as its eye. So here we have a concept of echolation. What is happening there? If I talk about a animal, any of such animal which is using what? They are using the rays which once travels and it reflects back. So according to the time duration between them, according to the time the ray was sent and the ray which is received back, accordingly they decide, okay, so here the distance is quite lesser or the distance is quite more. So accordingly they move. Now who is using such concept? Here I'll write for you. Here there's a concept of sonar. Sonar, and its full form is sound navigation and ranging. What is its full form? Its full form is sound navigation and ranging. So this concept of sound navigation and ranging, it is related to what? Echo. Or we can say that echolation concept is going on. So yes, here the animal which is using is what? That is bat. So this is the question from Ssc So 2005, and here option number D, that is bat, will be the correct answer. Next. Which phenomena do bats or dolphins use to find prey, predators and obstacles? Which phenomena do bats or dolphins use to find prey, predators or obstacles? Is it refraction of sound? Is it formation of beats? Is it scattering of sound? Or is it echolation? What is going to be the correct answer? Is it echolation, scattering of sound, formation of beats or refraction of sound? What is going to be the correct answer? Yes, answer please. We have just discussed about this question. Yes, Ram, absolutely correct. We have just discussed about it where we were talking about sonar. Remember? Sound navigation and ranging. And we just discussed in the previous question, we were discussing about what? Bats. So here, option number D, that is echolation, is going to be your correct answer. Fine. There's a last question for the day. What is the minimum distance required to hear an echo? What is the minimum distance required to hear an echo? Is it 10 meter, 13 meter? And let me write for you. I'm talking about meters. Because this unit is always important. Hai na? Yes, it was mentioned in meters. To hear an echo. What is going to be the correct answer? Ram, Jagdishwan. Here, we have one more concept of reverberation. I'll be explaining both the things here, but need answer first. So I'll talk about the minimum distance which is required to hear an echo is what? Is it 10 meter, 13 meter, 17 meter, 21 meter, what? Ram is with 17 meter, and that's absolutely correct. Now here, I'll tell you what is happening. If there's a person who is actually standing here and he is at a distance in such a manner that whatever he is saying, that sound can be heard back. For example, you are at a hill station, fine, with someone and you are shouting your name. For example, here we are talking about Ram. So Ram, if someone is shouting your name or taking your name, so Udbhav is also with Udbhav. This time the answer would be 17 meter. It's good that you are trying to give the answer. But please remember, when we are talking about the echo, that means we are talking about 17 meters over here. What? 17 meters. Because this is the range in which whatever you are saying, that sound will come back. For example, I am saying Udbhav. So it will happen what? It will be Udbhav, 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 something like that. What is happening? The sound which we have created is coming back. But here, the minimum distance that is required is of 17 meter. Now there's one more term, that is reverberation. Now what is that? For example, we are sitting in a hall and we are conversating with each other. Now what happens? Sometimes it happens, for example, when I am teaching you in the classroom, whatever I am speaking, that sound is actually reflected back. actually comes in such a manner. For example, I'm taking the name of Ram, it will come in such a manner, Ram, 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 in such a manner that you will be getting that wave in such a manner that sound is actually decreasing. Correct? Ha, that's true. You can talk about Krish over there. Yeah, in the Krish movie, that was the concept where it was told that some ghost lives in that particular valley. I remember, I guess this was the same thing which you are talking about, Ram, correct? So yes, but this is about echo. But what about reverberation? Reverberation is about a room in which whatever sound we have created, its intensity is actually keeping on decreasing. Fine. So we can talk about damped vibration over there. Okay. So there are two different things, echo and reverberation. We'll be having this same discussion in the evening session with the theoretical part, where I'll be taking all those examples where we can talk about all those love points, where we are taking the name of their girlfriends, boyfriends are taking the name of their girlfriends, girlfriends are taking their names of their boyfriends. So we'll be having all those discussions, but in the theoretical section between 6 to 7 in the evening. Fine. So yes, these were the important questions which were previously asked in the examination. In the evening from 6 to 7, we'll be having the discussion on the same topic, but with the theory plus MCQ for the CGL part. Okay. So yes, again I'll say that you can go with the exam for official application, which is one-stop solution for the government job aspirants. We have live paid courses with the test series, free subject-wise and topic-wise quizzes with the report card, job alerts, admit card, examination date. We have free examination-wise PDFs, practice set PDFs, daily, weekly, monthly, current affair, whatnot is there. You have all these things at a single platform. Just go to your Play Store, type Exampur there, click on the install button, click on the open part, do some registration and start using it. Okay then, we'll be waiting for you all in evening between 6 to 7 so that we can have discussion on this with the theoretical part, and that's very important because we are going in the depth in the theoretical section in the evening, and that will be according to the CGL along with the previous year questions. So kindly like this session and please do not forget to subscribe our channel. Till then, bye bye everyone. Please take care.